Hi guys, and welcome to the next installment of my beauty inventory. I know I was a little off the last couple weeks or so, and I just honestly didn't realize I didn't have them filmed. So we're gonna get started. If you watched my eyebrows and mascaras, I did tell you the next ones were single eyeshadows, so that's what we're doing today, is the single eyeshadows. This is a category I definitely need to work on, and this is kind of why this and like my duos and trios kind of are why I decided to do the project pan that I did this year, and it's a project pan roulette. Basically I put a lot of my smaller palettes, I think there's even one like single eyeshadow in there, and really focus on those just because a lot of these categories haven't moved in the last couple years, and so I really want them to start working on them. And I've been able to work on some of these single eyeshadows because if the palette's smaller and like the lid shade's finished, I can pull out a single eyeshadow and use it for a lid shade. Highlight shades, the same thing, and things like that. So I have been trying to work on my single eyeshadows. It's definitely a category I need to work on, like seriously, because in 2015 I had 13, 2016 I had 23, and then 2017 and in 2018 I have 22. So like I said, I definitely need to work on them, and they're not ones that I usually reach for, especially when I was doing those big pan that palettes. The colors didn't run out very often, so I'm really excited to show you these. If you've watched a makeup inventory with single eyeshadows, they are pretty similar. I didn't use a lot up and purchase a lot. They've kind of stayed stagnant, and I need to use them. So we're going to start with the two that are in this palette. I'm just kind of going to go randomly. I'm not going to have a rhyme or reason. But these in this palette are Stila's Dune and Revlon's Hawaii Blue. So that's what they look like. They're both super pigmented. This is considered a trio because they were all in a palette. And these are my project pans, so definitely check that out if you haven't. But these are the two that are in here. They just look like this. They're both pretty pigmented. I just haven't used them in quite some time. The blue for sure I used when I had dark brown hair years and years ago, because I really liked the way it looked, but I haven't played with the blue enough recently to like wear it a lot. So, and a lot of my pan that palettes in the last 2 years have had such bright colors that I haven't needed anything like that. The next thing is a Milani in Silver Charm. Obviously it's a single eyeshadow in Silver Charm. It just looks like this. It's a gorgeous color. It's not super pigmented, which I kind of enjoy. It's just going to give my eyes this nice like subtle shimmer, which is lovely. The next one is one I've been working on and I have pan on. I'm hoping honestly to finish it this year because like I said, with my pan that palettes, like the lid shade will run out, or the highlight shade, and then I pull in other shades. And this is the highlight shade that I've been pulling. This is Wet n Wild's Sugar, and I really like this. This would be something I would think about repurchasing just because it is cruelty free. It's not super natural, which I kind of want to go to, but right now for sure it's not. I mean, obviously I have 22 to work through, let's be honest. But these are 99 cents and they're lovely. So this is the one I've hit pan on. And this is one I'm really hoping to finish up. I did finish one of these last year, and I don't know, I was trying to think of which one that I bought. I think I know in the last year, but I can't remember. The next one of those Wet n Wilds is in Envy. So it's a really dark green. I think this would be beautiful in the fall. This is one I would definitely have to play with because I don't usually wear a lot of green on my eyes, but it is, and it is super like pigmented. It's super pretty, but it is super pigmented. But it doesn't go on like green. I mean it does, but I don't know. It has like a different shift to it, which I like. Like back here it doesn't look super green. I don't know, maybe it does. I don't know. It has like that gold shift to it. And then the last one of those Wet n Wilds that I have, I love these. Like I said, they're like, I think 99 cents or $1, and I think I got these for like 50 cents. That's why I have them. But this is a color I really like, and this is Penny by Wet n Wild. And it's a gorgeous, again, like, I don't know, it's just a peachy copper color with gold shifts, and I just think they're so pretty. But I haven't played with these very much, and I don't reach for these very often. So it's definitely a goal. That's why I wanted to get some of my smaller eyeshadow palettes and just kind of get through some of my eyeshadows, because right now it's like so overwhelming. There's this drawer that has so much eyeshadow in it, and it's not that I don't like it, it's just I like seeing progress, and so I stick with one, which is fine, but then the others get like pushed to the side and not used. So that's why I was trying to, with my Peanut palette, get through some so I can kind of see what's all going on. This is an e.l.f. birthday cake. The top broke, and I had to repress it, so it's just kind of like, it's definitely one that I want to work on, just because of the packaging. But it just looks like this. It's just a light pink, so it's just a really pretty color. There's the light pink. That's what it looks like. So I really like it. But the packaging is just not so great. The next thing is a Mary Kay. I always want to say Avon, but these are Mary Kay. Mary Kay in taupe. And my grandma gave this to me. Am I going to be able to open it? There it is. And I think this is just a lovely transition color. Obviously it has not been used very much. You can still see the pattern, but it's right here. It's above that. There you go. I think this is just a lovely transition color, but a lot of times in palettes, my transition color is the one that's like holding on, so I don't ever like reach for that. This one needs to be repressed, so I'm not going to open it, but this is Stila's Kitten. I don't know if you can see in there that it broke, but I'm just kind of going to keep it shut and not repress it until I'm ready to use it. I love this shade. This is probably like, these shades are my favorite because they're just neutral, but they're shimmery. These are my favorite. This is kind of, I want my eyeshadows to go more neutral. I love, like I said, this like copper shade too, but I don't want like a bright blue or a bright green, which is what I have, and I'll use them and I like them, but they're not ones I want to use like every single day. I want to go especially more neutral as I've used some of my palettes that have the color of like, I'm a neutral gal. So I don't like, I'm not giving up on my Peanut palette that's purple, you know, because I can make it look kind of neutral. And I do like the shadows. I just, like I said, I've noticed I'm more of a neutral gal. And most of my single eyeshadows are neutral. This one is also been repressed. It's a Revlon in Peacock Luster and a black Wet n Wild. So that's what this looks like. It's a little crazy. It's a little dark, but I think the shimmers, oh no, there it is. You can't really see. It's not as dark as like you'd think. So I'm definitely want to play with this one and see what I can do with it. This might be one that ends up like being decluttered or something if I can't find a use, because I don't know. We'll have to see like what it looks like in transition and on the lid. I haven't honestly played with this very much. But both those shadows kind of broke together, and so that's why I put them together. So anyways, the next one is a Beauty Rush in Espresso Lane. It just looks like this. Some of my single eyeshadows, I will be honest, are not open, and since I'm not planning on using them right now, I'm not going to open. So this is one that's not open. It's just a dark brown. Again, I think it'd be a good transition shade depending on how pigmented it is. But I got this from a friend. It wasn't open, and so I didn't want to open it just to like swatch it, basically. That's how I keep my eyeshadows a lot longer, is I try not to open them. I do, like I said, use one at a time, so they're not constantly opening and shutting until I'm ready to use them. But yeah, this is closed. And this one, this is Champagne by CoverGirl. Again, I love this color. I've heard great things about it. That's why I purchased it. But it's not open, so we're not opening that. I do have another CoverGirl, and it's in Charcoal Frost. Again, someone gave this to me. Let's see if I have a free But I really do like the color, especially for a transition shade. I think this will be a lovely transition shade. It does have a little bit of shimmer, so again, we'll have to just see how it goes. But I think this is a good transition shade, or for a smoky eye, obviously on the lid, but I'm not gonna wear smoky eyes that often, staying at home, so there's that. The other one is Tapestry Taupe by CoverGirl. I love this color. I heard great things about it. I got it, I purchased it, and I used quite a bit of it. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but I haven't reached for it in quite some time, so like I said, this is probably one of my favorite colors. It's over here. Just a neutral. Like I said, I'm just a neutral, brown neutral girl. So, anyways, I do have MAC All That Glitters. It's very similar. You'll see a few, like with single eyeshadows, you'll see a pattern just because I do have to pick them out. So I picked this one out, and again, just a gorgeous like all over lid shade that I love. So, yeah. This next one is MAC Studio, and I decided to put this in one even though it does have 3 colors because I feel like this is in Medallion. I believe this is the one I got this year. As I'm looking, that's the only one I can think of. Since I had 22 and I still have 22, but I know I used one up, so unless I just discounted last year, which is very possible. But I think this is the one I got. But I think what I'm going to do is kind of mix the colors together to get like a bronzy shade. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and that's why I put it in the single eyeshadows versus like a trio, even though there are 3 colors in here. But I probably mix them all together. I do have 6 loose eyeshadows, and I haven't opened 3 of them, and I probably won't open them just because they are a little bit messy, but I do have 6 loose eyeshadows, like loose pigments, and I haven't played around with them enough to know if I like them or don't like them. Like I said, I am trying to work through some of my eyeshadows, and these are 3 neutral. All the pigments are neutral, so I don't think that's going to be the issue. This is the e.l.f. eyeshadow in Bronzed, a gorgeous, gorgeous color. This is it in Wild, so very similar to Bronze. And then the third one is in Golden. So these are the 3. I think they're just gorgeous natural colors, and that's why I got them. They were in a set of 3, and so I wanted to try them out. I just haven't gotten a chance, and that's ridiculous. I have too much eyeshadow, basically, is what I'm telling you. Then I have 3 from Ulta. This first one is in Pearl Shimmer, so it's just a white shimmery color. Then I have Pink Shimmer, again, just a shimmery color, but it's more peach. And then I have YOLO, which is very similar to the white shimmer. This I got in a Ulta sample box, and these 2 my sister-in-law gave me. But I'm always willing to try those out, especially since they were neutral. If it had been like a blue shimmer, probably would have passed on it. But with them being so neutral, I think it would be lovely to try out. And I have a lot of cream bases that you'll see. But I have a lot of cream bases that I think that they'll do fine with. But like I said, I haven't ever played with them, which I need to. But I'm working on a Pan That palette, so I don't veer from my Pan That palette, to be honest. Like, people wonder how I get through so much eyeshadow. Like when I did those big Pan That palettes, it's because I don't veer from it. The only time I veered from my big Pan That palette is the few times, like the few days of the year that I went on vacation, because I couldn't bring those big palettes. But that is how I got through so many, is I do not veer. I do not like test out other eyeshadows or like use them. I use my Pan That palette and my Pan That palette only. So yeah, that's why these get like neglected, but that's how I'm able to get through so much of my Pan That palettes, because I don't veer from it. Nothing. Like, those are the eyeshadows I use unless one is gone, and I can't like replace it with something in the palette. So anyways, that was my single eyeshadow. It's kind of like a ringably single eyeshadow, but I had 22, so I know this is long. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. My duos, trios will be next. I think duos, trios, and quads are next. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.